Benched Chris wasn't naturally athletic. Coordination didn't come easy. Running left him winded. Sports, the universal language of high school social currency, were his weakness. But he loved basketball, watched games religiously, knew stats, strategies, plays. When tryouts came for sophomore year, he tried out, not expecting to make varsity, just hoping for JV, a chance to be part of something. He made the team. Barely. Last pick, bench warmer. But he made it. The bullying started immediately, from his own teammates. Why'd coach even pick you? You're gonna cost us games. Just don't embarrass us. During practice, teammates wouldn't pass to him, would groan when he messed up, would exclude him from team bonding, group chats, inside jokes. Chris was on the team, but not part of it. The coach did nothing. Sports culture prioritized winning over inclusion. Chris's presence was tolerated because numbers were needed, but his participation was unwanted. The worst came during an away game. Chris rarely played, but with 3 minutes left and the team up by 20, coach finally put him in. Garbage time. Pity minutes. Chris was nervous. Missed his first shot. Heard groans from the bench. Tried to recover. Ran the play correctly. Got open. His teammate had a clear pass. Instead, he shot a contested 3. It missed. That's what happens when dead weight is on the floor, the teammate said loud enough for everyone to hear. After the game, in the locker room, the captain confronted Chris. You need to quit. You're not good enough for this team. I'm on the team. Coach chose me. Coach made a mistake. You're wasting everyone's time. Other players agreed. Not everyone. Some stayed silent, uncomfortable, but unwilling to defend Chris. But enough voiced agreement that the message was clear. Leave or be miserable. Chris considered quitting. Would have been easier, less painful, but quitting felt like letting bullies win, like admitting he didn't deserve to pursue something he loved just because he wasn't naturally talented. Instead, Chris documented the harassment, every exclusionary practice, every insult, every time teammates deliberately set him up to fail. He researched athletic hazing policies, discovered his school had rules against exactly what was happening. He reported it, all of it, to the athletic director, in writing, with specific examples. The response was disappointing. That's just how sports teams are. It builds character, toughens you up. But what Chris experienced wasn't tough love. It was systematic exclusion designed to force him out. He escalated, contacted his parents. They demanded a meeting with administration, brought documentation of Chris's harassment, cited anti-bullying policies that didn't exempt athletic programs. The school was forced to act. The coach was required to address team culture. Players faced consequences, extra conditioning, mandatory team-building exercises focused on inclusion, formal warnings about continued harassment. It helped somewhat. The overt bullying decreased, but the culture remained. Chris was tolerated, not accepted. So Chris created his own space. He started a recreational basketball club for students who loved the game but weren't competitive athletes. No tryouts, no cuts, just people playing for fun, supporting each other, celebrating improvement over perfection. The club grew. Kids who'd been cut from teams, kids with disabilities, kids who loved basketball but hated competitive sports culture. They found community in Chris's inclusive space. Senior year, Chris still barely played on the school team, but he'd built something more valuable, a community that celebrated participation over performance, effort over natural talent, joy over winning. At the end of season banquet, Chris was asked to speak about his experience. He could have been diplomatic. Instead, he was honest. Sports culture celebrates natural talent and punishes effort, he said. If you're not immediately good, you're garbage. If you're not the star, you're dead weight. That culture doesn't build character. It destroys it. He looked at his teammates. Some looked ashamed, others defensive. I love basketball, but I learned this year that loving something doesn't mean you have to participate in toxic versions of it. I built a community where people support each other, where improvement matters more than starting talent, where everyone gets a chance to play. Chris described the Rec Club, how students who'd been excluded found belonging, how people discovered they could enjoy sports without the pressure of competitive perfection. Real team culture celebrates everyone's contribution, Chris concluded. It recognizes that different skill levels can coexist. It values effort and attitude as much as natural ability. If your team culture requires excluding or demeaning people, it's not team culture, it's just bullying with matching. Uniforms. The speech was uncomfortable. Sports was sacred in their school. Questioning athletic culture was heresy. But Chris's Rec Club had proven an alternative could exist. He graduated having barely played competitive basketball, but he'd created a space where dozens of students played joyfully, where the bench didn't exist because everyone rotated, where missing a shot earned encouragement, not groans. Chris kept one thing, his unused jersey, number 14, barely worn because he barely played, but it represented something important, his refusal to quit just because he wasn't the best. His insistence that loving something meant you deserved to participate in it, even if you'd never be a star. You don't have to be naturally talented to deserve respect, Chris told kids in his Rec Club. You don't have to be the best to earn your place. Effort matters, heart matters, joy matters. Don't let anyone convince you otherwise. Key facts. Athletic bullying, hazing effects. Students across all sports often dismissed as building character. Non-athletic students face social exclusion as sports culture dominates high school social hierarchy. Coaches who ignore team bullying enable toxic culture that contradicts educational values. Many students avoid sports entirely due to fear of judgment about skill level. Inclusive recreational programs successfully engage students excluded from competitive athletics.